Hello, my name is Dennis. I'm along with Robert Reichel presenting the Lookout project. What it does is it brings together social media activity from sites like Twitter and some of the crime mapping data that was provided to us earlier in the year, and showing you co-occurrences of social media activity and also crime. So what Lookout has first off decided to concentrate on is social media activity from Twitter. So what Twitter is very good about doing, it's able to show you sort of the geographic location associated with tweets. To do that, it uses a system called Places. It makes it really easy to actually figure out who has been doing a lot of geolocated activity in your area. And our area is Northern Virginia, District of Columbia. It's not sufficient to just say, look, give me everyone on Twitter who has geolocated data. We want people sort of within the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. area. And really, we can't just say, give me all tweets, because not all of them are geolocated. So one thing that's really nice is you can look at a place and see who's been doing stuff. You could take that and say, some of these people look like people who might be good to look at, see what their activity is. For simplicity, I'll select one a little bit later on, but this would be a good way to figure that out. Going over to Lookout, what it is just very simple. It's logging in with Twitter, you can see here, and then just a Google Maps API, the JavaScript API, which was suggested to us earlier in the year, and it has been very good for doing what we want it to do. So what we would do, sign in with Twitter, no big deal, and it takes you to, I will put in my information here. And then what's very nice is it brings you back to the application. You're able to select perhaps any of your friends. Also, you could type in just an arbitrary person. And what would happen is, let's say I go ahead and select here. What will happen is after submitting, you will eventually be brought in to an area that shows your tweets. The tweets for the person that you brought. This is a person who has a couple of tweets in the DC area, nothing too out of control, but what we're able to do is sort of get a sense for how many crime incidents were occurring within a certain range, in this case a mile, and a certain time range, in this case within about a week historically of the actual tweet data. And so what we have here is just sort of a list of stats. So what we have is from the crime database that we were provided with. What it does is it really captures almost every single crime incident that occurred in 2009. We were able to then remove duplicates, so to take a look and make sure there's no duplicates, remove outliers, things like that, and then we were left with about the remaining 33,000, and that's only in 2009. So what we would then do is say, if a tweet was performed in, say, January 2011, it would be interesting historically to see, what incidents occurred around that same week in 2009, 2 years earlier, to see if there's any sort of like year-round cycles to these things, which would make sense for things like monuments, which you would feel would be busier in the spring or summer, but not quite so much in the winter. And so really that's it. We went with a web app, and this is implemented using the Django system, Python, and then just using the JavaScript API for Google Maps. Provided a very convenient way to get user input, display output from the server, and really just really it leverages a lot of our experiences. We've obviously always used we've all used Google Maps at one point or another. It's very simple, leverages our experience, and it's the kind of thing that it's kind of a interesting feel to be walking through your crime scene data. So thank you very much, and I'm going to kick it over to Robert Weichel, who will give us sort of a look at the API side. Thanks.